Euro USD live Monday the 7th of October 2024 market direction with entry, stop loss, and take profit. And remember, on this very live stream, I'll be having a free giveaway, so be sure to stick around so that you do not miss out on that. Hey guys, welcome to this new live stream. It is Monday. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Personally, I had a great weekend, so I'm super excited for this new week that has just begun. So how are you guys doing? How is everyone doing? Personally, I'm doing great. It was a very relaxing weekend. Had to spend it with family, and I mean, nothing can beat that. So, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you taking your time every Monday to Friday to join me here as I share the direction of the day on the Euro USD. Now, if you do not know, the Euro USD is the world's most traded pair. So many people love trading this pair, and it's probably because Europe and the USA, they have so many transactions every single day that happen between these two continents. So yeah, so probably that's why so many people love trading this pair. So thank you so much to whoever is joining right now. I greatly appreciate you taking your time and joining me every Monday to Friday. Now I do this every Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. my local time, or if you're using the New York time, that's exactly at 1:30 a.m. when I jump onto this live stream. So thank you so much to whoever is joining right now. I appreciate you taking your time and joining me every single Monday to Friday. So yeah, so for me to be able to determine this direction of the day, I use my 50% win rate strategy, which basically enables me catch these directions for the day every single day. Guys, you know that it's a 50% win rate strategy, and basically what this means is that for every 10 trades that I at least take in the market, 5 of those most of the times are winners. So with that, combined with the 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio, it keeps me profitable in the markets all year round. I'm telling you, every single month, I'm sure you've always seen me share my P&L, and you know that every single month I'm always positive, I'm always green. So if you're looking for a strategy to trade, I'm going to be sharing every single thing about the strategy right here on this live stream. So thank you to whoever is joining right now. I greatly appreciate you taking your time and joining me every single Monday to Friday. I appreciate you taking your time and joining me as I share what I believe the direction of the day is going to be like on the Euro USD. Now, for me, before I even get onto the chart, there is some kind of routine I like to go through. And one of those things I like to do is basically see what the fundamentals of the day are going to be like. Now, when we look at the day today, which is 7th of October 2024. So if we are to look at the fundamentals, let me try and share my screen so that you guys can see exactly what I'll be seeing on my end. So let me try and share that just in a bit. I'm sharing just in a bit. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen just in a few right there. So so hope you guys can see exactly what I'm seeing right now. So what I basically was saying was that for the fundamentals, I like to see exactly which kind of red folder news are going to be dropping on this particular day. And today, which is 7th of October 2024, fortunately or unfortunately, there's no red folder news events. Now, for me, I'm not someone who basically trades news, but the reason I like to check out these news events is for me to know exactly the time these red folder news events are going to be dropping. Now, what I did is basically filter out. I basically use this website, forexfactory.com. So I come to the filter function here, or the filter tab, and then I'm able to basically filter out what I like to see on the chart. So I filtered it to only show me the red folder news events, and you can see right here, you can go ahead and do the same. So I filtered that out. Then I like to know exactly any other event happening. So growth, inflation, employment, central bank, bonds, housing, consumer surveys, business surveys, speeches, MISC. So basically, any kind of miscellaneous that is in the market, I like to know everything about that. But that's if it's a red folder or it's a red folder news event. So this is how I filtered it out. And then for me, I basically trade the euro and the euro USD. So basically, I only and only get to see that news on the euro USD. So this is how I filtered it out, and it is how I've traded for the longest time, guys. So if you're out there and you don't know exactly how to do this, that's exactly how you're going to be doing. Now, the reason I like to check out the fundamentals of the day is basically for me to know exactly the time this news is going to be dropping. So if it is going to be dropping at a particular time, what I like to do is basically, 5 minutes before this red folder news drops in the market, I like to actually manage my trades. I'm someone who likes to move my stop to break even when these news events are going to be dropping, because what usually ends up happening, if that particular trade that you're currently in, if it happens to go against you, most of the times you're going to be battered by slippage. With many of the brokers that we use, they tend to actually widen their spreads when these red folder news events are dropping. So if you do not want to be affected by this, because sometimes they can slip you, maybe if you are earlier predetermined to maybe risk maybe 10 pips on that particular trade as a day trader, you might end up, getting slipped maybe 10 more pips or even 15 more pips than what you earlier anticipated to actually risk on that particular trade. So if you do not want this to happen, in case that particular trade has gone against you, if you don't want to be slipped massively, I highly urge you to actually move your stop to break even, because this is going to save you a lot of headache. I'm telling you, it really works, and it's how I trade. So basically, that is it right there. So what I do 5 minutes before this news drops, or I'm talking about red folder news events, 5 minutes before they drop, what I like to do is basically move my stop to break even, and then I watch how the news event plays out. If it runs straight to my TP, I'm a happy man. But if it goes against me, then I'm not going to be there crying over slippage. I know that I've moved my stop already to break even, and I'm protected in some way. So basically, this is how I do trade these news events, and it's how I've traded them for the longest time. I'm telling you, this works. You can go as well and include this in your trading regimen, because I always share everything here for free. I like to share with my community, and this is how I've done it for the longest time. So if you are out there and maybe you do not have a profitable strategy, I'm telling you, on this very live stream, I'm going to be sharing my exact strategy that I trade, so that maybe you might not just take my word for it and say, oh, it works. You can go back as well and backtest that this particular strategy that I'm going to share with you, so that you're able to actually trade the same exact way I trade this particular strategy. Now, it's a very simple strategy that I believe even a complete beginner can be able to trade this same exact strategy, because there are just a few things to look out for. And I don't go ahead and look at a very big time frame for bias or anything like that. I basically only look at the previous day, and I'm telling you, it is a very profitable strategy, because it utilizes simple things like maybe liquidity sweeps and all that. So basically, that's the strategy, and I'm going to be sharing it right here on the channel. So stay tuned for you to catch that as I unveil, as I share everything about this strategy. So yeah, so basically that is it. Now, in the comments as well, I would like to know exactly what are your struggles? What do you struggle with as a trader who is trying to, make it on this journey? What is your struggle? What do you usually struggle so much with? What are your kinds of struggles when it comes to the markets? So let me know down in the comments what exactly you struggle with or what you're currently struggling with. I would like to know exactly how you're going through this because here I'm here to help someone out there. My goal for starting this channel is basically for me to be able to help at least 10,000 traders out there become profitable. It is basically 10,000 traders. The moment I get this, I'll be the happiest man. I'm telling you, I will be the happiest man. So that is my goal, to have at least 10,000 traders become profitable. I know it's a long shot, but I will try as much as I can. I will always share what I believe is shareable, what I believe can be shared with my community out there, so that at least 10,000 traders out there become profitable. So basically, that is it right there. So you can see the chart. This is what we have on the chart. So I'm going to be diving deep into the strategy so that you guys can know exactly how I trade. So basically, this is a strategy that utilizes the previous day. So it utilizes the previous day's price action. Now, when we look at the previous day, you guys remember that we had NFP drop on Friday. That was Friday the 4th of October. So NFP dropped, and this was the big candle right here. It was massive. I don't know. You can go ahead and tell me in the comments. Did you trade NFP last Friday, or you didn't? Or maybe did you make some money on NFP day, or you did not? So try and tell me down in the comments. And as well, if you're enjoying this live stream so far, please, you can go ahead, give the live stream a like, because this helps other people actually get to watch this same exact live stream. So you can go ahead and like the live stream so that YouTube can be able to recommend it to more other people out there that are yearning for this kind of information. Remember, guys, I'm about to share my strategy, everything to do with the strategy. So we've been looking at NFP and how it went. It was a big bearish candle. You can see it right there. Now, for me, when it comes to the strategy, it is a strategy that utilizes the previous day's price action. And when we look at price action, we can see it was very bearish. Price kind of it was ranging. It was basically trying to accumulate, and then all of a sudden price dropped. So basically this is what we had as NFP. So what I'm going to be looking at for today, the 7th of October 2024, what I'm basically going to be looking at is for price to see that price actually taps back into areas of interest. Now, with areas of interest, what I mean by this is basically for price to tap back into areas of interest. This could be an order block, a fair value gap, or this could be equal highs or equal lows. So these are what I classify as areas of interest. So today, if we are to look at the areas of interest from the previous day, we can see that this was the low from the previous day. And what was the area of interest right there? So there wasn't much, but this is what we had. We had a fair value gap, a small fair value gap. It's a bullish fair value gap right here. So I would expect price to come tap back into that fair value gap at around that level. Let me try and zoom in very well so that I catch that as a pinpoint. Okay, so probably around there. So I expect price to actually come tap right there at this level. This is at one. This is at 1 point. This is at 1.096. So basically, I expect price to come take out this Asian law. This Asian law for today. I expect price to come take it out. And then once it has taken it out, this is when I would expect price to reverse to the upper side. So this is something I mean. Let me try and mark that out very well for you so that you can see it very well. So this is what I expect. I expect price to come, take out any of the liquidity from the moves to the upper side, or else if price actually doesn't do this. Now from the previous day, we can see that there was a that is a big area of interest that I'll be interested in as well. Price is always interested in such, such areas. So this is an area of interest that I would expect price to actually tap into. So what do I look out for here? So basically, I would only and only, since we have these equal highs and then we have this fair value gap. So this is what I expect price to do. I expect price to come tap into that level. Let me try and zoom in so that I show you very well. So this is what I expect. I expect price to come, take out any of the stops resting above here. And then once price has done that, this is what I would expect. So I'm expecting price to come from here. Then it takes some this direction. So basically, this is what I'm looking at. And again, summing up the strategy, it is a very simple strategy. It utilizes the previous day's price action. Now, the previous day, it was the 4th of October 2024, and it was an NFP day. So what I'm basically looking at from the previous day is what I like to call an area of interest. This could be a fair value gap, this could be an order block, or this could be equal highs or equal lows. So price always on the next day likes to tap back into these areas. And then once it has tapped back into these areas, this is when price actually reverses in the other opposite direction. So this is the kind of strategy that I trade, and I've traded it for the longest time. I'm telling you guys, it is a very profitable strategy. So basically, this is what I'm going to be looking at today, the 7th of October 2024. So what I'll be waiting for is for price to get to any of these levels. This level right here at 1.0963.09778. So once price, takes out any of the liquidities around those levels, then what I'll do next is basically drop down to the 5-minute time frame so that I'm able to take my entry. And when it comes to entry, number one, I like to actually look out for an inversion fair value gap forming on the 5-minute time frame. So once an inversion fair value gap has formed on the 5-minute time frame, I like to enter from there. That's my sweet spot. That's when I like to actually make my entry. And I don't know, but this I found this to be making more sense to me. So once price makes that inversion fair value gap, now if you do not know what an inversion fair value gap is, this is basically when price covers a previously existing fair value gap. So let's say if we had a bearish fair value gap, if we get price, or if we get a bullish candle covering that bearish fair value gap, this is when I like to call, or this is what I like to call an inversion fair value gap. It's a commonly used term in the trading industry. So in case you didn't know, that's exactly how it's called. So so basically, Then when it comes to the entry, I told you that's how I enter. I enter on an inversion fair value gap, use a 10 pip stop loss. And when it comes to the take profit, I'd like to use 30 pips as my take profit. But as well, I like to squeeze this to basically a 1 to 4 so that I'm able to make extra profits from the market. So basically, this is how I trade, and it's how I've traded for the longest time. So basically, this is what I'll be looking at today, the 7th of October 2024. These are my key levels. So I'm waiting for price to, take out the Asian law. And then once it has taken them out, I would wait for price to actually tap into this fair value gap from the previous day. So once price has tapped into this fair value gap, let me zoom it in very well. So I would wait for price to actually tap into this fair value gap. That is at 1.09792. So once price has actually tapped into that fair value gap, then I'll be looking to actually take my entry. So right there, that's how I'm hoping to actually enter the market. And once, everything has manifested the way I expect it to do, then I'll be making my entry. And basically, this is it. Now, the thing I also like to tell you, do not watch this live stream and then go back and say, oh, Gani said, once price does this, then that's when I make my entry, and let me try and go full margin. Guys, remember, don't over risk on your trades. Try and stay within your risk parameters. Don't do anything silly. So this is how you're going to stay longer in this game. This is how you're going to stay longer in the market. Do not do anything stupid, because you'll get wiped out with the market. You must be able to manage your risk well. If you do not manage your risk right, you will never become profitable. So basically, that is it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this. In case you did, please like the live stream, and as well share it maybe with a friend or colleague that is still struggling to become profitable, because this is a free strategy that anyone, I believe, can learn and they use it for themselves. But of course, for you to get full confidence with this strategy, you must go ahead and back test it very well so that you make it your very own. So basically, this is it. This is what I'm looking at for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this. In case you did, let me know down in the comments. I would like to know how you feel about this. So thank you so much for joining me this morning, the 7th of October 2024. Thank you so much for joining me. I wish you guys a great trading day today.